Now continuing on the Parshas Bahar, Psukim 9 through 12. 9, 10, 11, and 12 with Rashi. These Psukim, this Parsha, the laws, teachings, precepts, concepts that are found in Parshas Bahar are the basis of the PL-89 calendar and the work of the PL-89 system, and information system in general. And that's why I'm going over Parshas Bahar right now. All the halachos, all of the everything about it in Parshas Bahar have to do with the mathematical system of PL-89. Pasuk 9. Ve'havarta shofar trua b'chodesh hashvi'i be'asor lachodesh b'yom ha'kippurim ta'aviru shofar b'chol artzachem. You shall proclaim with the shofar blasts in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, on the day of atonement. You shall sound the shofar throughout your land. Rashi says, you shall proclaim the havarta, you shall pass something from one to another, from one place to another. But here, this term stems from the similar expression in the verse, they proclaimed, Vayaviru kol, throughout the camp. It says in Exodus 36, verse 6, expression of proclamation. Okay? On the 10th of the month, on the day of atonement, it says Rashi, but since it says on the day of atonement, do I not already know that this occurs in the 10th month? So why does the scripture need to state on the 10th of the month? However, it does so in order to teach you the following. The obligation to sound the shofar on the 10th of the month, on Yom Kippur, the Jubilee year, overrides the prohibition of sounding the shofar on the Sabbath throughout your land, whereas the obligation to sound the shofar on Rosh Hashanah does not override the Sabbath. Like this year. This year it's going to be Shabbos, first day of Rosh Hashanah, and we're not going to blow the shofar on Shabbos. But this comes to tell you that you do. Sound the shofar Rosh Hashanah is okay. It says Sabbath throughout your entire land, except in the court of law, where this provision does not apply. Torah Kohanim 25:16. Okay, Pasuk 10, verse 10. V'kidashtem mishnasa chamishim shana ukrasim dror ba'aretz l'chol yeshveh yovel hi tihiyah lachem v'shavtem ish el achuzaso v'ish el mishpachto teshuvu. And you shall sanctify the 50th year and proclaim freedom throughout the land for all who live on it. It shall be a jubilee for you. And you shall return each man to his property, and you shall return each man to his family. Says Rashi, and you shall sanctify the 50th year and its commencement. Jubilee year, sanctify the court. At which time they declare this year is holy, and proclaim freedom for slaves, whether Nirtzah, a Jewish slave, who chose to remain with his master even after his being permitted to go free at the end of 6 years, and who therefore has ear board. See Exodus 1:16 for a slave, for whose 6-year period has, since having been sold, not yet elapsed. Said Rabbi Yehuda, what does this term dror mean? As one who dwells kemedayar, in dwelling, beidiara, who dwells wherever he wishes and is not under the domain of others. The term dror denotes freedom. Torah Kohanim, also see Rosh Hashanah, Tractate Rosh Hashanah 9b. See Rashi there. It shall be a jubilee. This year is distinguished from all the years, for it only has a special name. What is its name? It's called Yovel. It means ram's horn. See Rashi in Exodus 19, Shocha Yovel. Because of the shofar that is sounded upon its commandment. And you shall return each man to his property. that the fields revert to their owners. This verse does not mean that the owner must return his field, but that the ownership of the field returns to the one who had sold it. And you shall return each man to his family. This says Rashi. This clause comes to include the bored one, even one who gets his ear bored. See Kedushin 15a. Pasuk 11. Yovel hi shnasa chamishim shana tiyeh lachem lo tizra'u v'lo tikturu es vichea v'lo sivturu es nizireha. The 50th year shall be a jubilee for you. You shall not sow, nor shall you reap its aftergrowth or pick its grapes that you had set aside for yourself. Says Rashi, this 50th year shall be a jubilee for you. What does this come to teach us? Since Scripture says, preceding verse, and you shall sanctify the 50th year, one might think that just as at the beginning of the year it gains sanctity progressively, so should its sanctity extend after the year, as it is with other instances of sanctification of holy times, Sabbath or a holy festival, with which some ordinary time is added on to the holy time. Here too, some of the year following Jubilee must be added on to it. Scripture therefore states the 50th year shall be a Jubilee for you. Only the 50th year with no extensions. Tractate Rosh Hashanah 8b, Torah Kohanim 25-23. Its grapes you have set aside. Hebrew Nizreha says Rashi, those grapes stored away, but you may harvest those that have been rendered ownerless. Or just Shemitah, the term Nizreha is stated specifically referring to grapes. So Jubilee is stated with specifically with grapes. For Shemitah and Jubilee are equal in all manners. See also Be'er Basadeh, Maskil David. Thus, two holy years are found right next to each other, each the 49th year, the Shemitah, and Jubilee the 50th. Pasuk 12. Ki yovel hi kodesh tiyeh lachem ben asadeh tochlu tfuseh. For it is Jubilee, it shall be holy for you. You shall eat its produce from the field. It shall be holy to you, says Rashi. The produce of Jubilee attaches its holiness onto money. It is sold for like items dedicated to the Holy Temple. However, one might think that just like items dedicated to the Holy Temple, this produce leaves its holy status to become unholy. Scripture therefore states, here it shall be, as to say, they shall remain as they were. Sukkah 40b. You shall eat its produce from the field, says Rashi. You shall gauge your eating in the house by way of the field. That is to say, once a particular food has been consumed by the beasts in the field, you must remove what you had stored of the food from your house and make it freely available to all. See Rashi in verse 7 above. Torah Kohanim 25-26. Just as was stated regarding Shemitah, so it is stated regarding the Jubilee.